It was an exciting day for Bravo and his classmates. In every single classroom, as the students were settling in their seats, the teachers were announcing that they were going on a field trip to the museum. Bravo was especially excited, not only to go to the museum and see all of the wonderful exhibits, but for the opportunity to share good manners and polite behavior with his classmates on a field trip. It was time to leave for the museum, so the teachers asked the students to line up at the door and get ready to go to the buses. Bravo, always the model of good behavior, took his place at the front of the line, smiling encouragingly at his classmates. But as soon as the door opened, the students burst out of the classroom, racing towards the bus. Bravo sighed, knowing that he now had to step in and teach them how to nicely line up and head to the bus. Hey everyone, Bravo said. Let's line up nicely, he called out, wiggling his tail, trying to get their attention. Remembering their good manners, the children turned and lined up behind Bravo. Thank you for reminding us, Bravo. We were all too excited to remember good manners and polite behavior. Let's get on the bus and head to the museum. Once they were on the bus and everyone sitting nicely in their seats, they began to talk about what they would see at the museum. I hope we see dinosaurs, said one of the children. Before long, they were at the museum, and in the big window at the front, Bravo could see a giant dinosaur skeleton. The children lined up nicely to head into the museum, but once they got inside, their excitement was just too much. They began to run around and shout. One of the kids even tried to climb on a statue. Well, that was just too much for Bravo to take. Hey everyone, why don't we sit down for a minute and take a deep breath and regroup, and then we can line up and go see all of the exhibits one at a time using our good manners. I know this place is really exciting, said Bravo, but we have to remember good manners are important wherever we go. So let's be respectful so everyone can enjoy the museum just like we all want to. Well, Bravo's words were exactly what the students needed to hear. They all lined up quietly and agreed with Bravo that if they all behaved and used polite manners, that everyone would be able to see all of the exhibits and everyone would have a great day. Thank you, Bravo, they said in their nice, quiet indoor voices. Thank you so much for reminding us that we need to be polite and use good manners even when we're inside the museum. Well, now it was time for lunch, and the class went to the cafeteria. They all had their sandwiches and snacks, and they discussed what they had seen already and what they were about to see. I loved the dinosaurs, said one child, while the other one said the mummies were really cool. I don't know what we're going to see next. Bravo smiled, happy to see his friends enjoying the day at the museum. Well, I heard there was an exhibit about space, he said, and we should be sure to look at the planets and the stars. After lunch, the children lined up once again and headed back into the museum to see what else they could see. It was story time, so the children sat on the carpet and carefully listened about all of the other exhibits they were about to see. Bravo listened intently, and he smiled at his classmates, so proud at how well they were behaving. When story time was finished and all of the exhibits had been seen by the children, it was time to head back to school. So the students quietly lined up and headed to their buses and took the ride back to their school, where another surprise awaited them. The next surprise for the children was the fact that their art teacher was waiting for them in their classroom. The art teacher had passed out paper and crayons and pencils at each desk for the students. And now the students had to draw their favorite part of the museum. Bravo carefully sketched the dinosaur skeleton, and some of his classmates around him drew the planets. Some of them even drew pictures of rocks and seashells. They called them fossils, and now everyone knew what a fossil was because they learned that at the museum. Bravo was very proud. He looked around at his classmates and saw how much fun they had at the museum, and he realized that his lesson helped them enjoy the day even more. So remember, everybody, no matter where you go, good manners and polite behavior are important and they help everybody enjoy the day. I hope you enjoyed this story of Bravo and good manners at the museum. Stay tuned for many more adventures of Bravo. Here are some discussion questions for you and your class. If you would like, send the answers to Bravo at the email below for your chance to win a Bravo of your very own.